Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to cilinixfxcapital. Welcome to this new video on your daily update here on Ripple or XRP. We're going to do a full update. We'll talk about, we'll do a brief recap of my video yesterday, of course, and then we'll talk about the price action we've seen since then, and then kind of what's most likely now. Prices are trading a little bit lower than yesterday, and yesterday in general, what I said, luckily, was correct, because I was a little bit off with expecting such a major rally. I mean, if you watch my video last week Wednesday, I did tell you I think we're going to break out, right? But my target was 2.45, and I said, from there I actually do expect resistance, which we got, but not much. But yesterday what I said is that we had a chance to break out above $3, but I still felt like it was more likely that we were not going to break out above that. And I think it's too early to decisively say that we will not break above that, but I do think, at least short term here, it's unlikely. You can see we spiked up to that level again. We can zoom in a little bit here. We spiked up to that level. In general, we saw some bearish divergences already yesterday, which you can also see right here, right? Especially with this high we made Friday. And you compare that with the high we made on Monday, like, yes, the open interest was higher, so there was more leverage coming in. But if there's more leverage coming in and the volume doesn't catch up with that, and you also have a lower high on the RSI, then there's just more divergences, then there's new momentum coming in. So that in combination with my general thoughts on the markets, in combination with the strength of $3, which is a very strong resistance level, of course, I said I don't think we're going to break out. You can see we rejected from that, and now in the 1 hour time frame, so that's very zoomed in, but still we've also dropped down below the trend band right here. On the 4 hour time frame, we're still holding that, and that's also why I'm telling you, I still think there is a possibility we break above $3. I mean, the momentum we've seen for XRP in the last week, in the last week basically, but before that we actually also showed some signs of quite a lot of momentum. It makes that a possibility, but I would say right now, what we're seeing with inflation rates data coming out also later today, which just probability-wise, that always has a bit of a higher chance to cause a bearish reaction than a bullish reaction, all right? Because even good inflation rate data readings can cause a sell-off if a sell-off is already happening. And right now, what you can see in the markets, especially if you look at Bitcoin here on the lower time frames, is that a sell-off is already happening, all right? And I would say that XRP is holding up a little bit better than Bitcoin, but still, that has an impact, right? And you can see that the entire market is also very correlated to Bitcoin, so it matters a lot. But yeah, so short term, I think my analysis has been confirmed. So I think it's most likely that we are going to be dropping down lower into 2.7, 2.6. And then from there, for me, the main thing I need to see is a strong reaction at 2.7, 2.6, because if we're able to form a consolidation up here, I think that's great news. If we're able to get a strong reaction at 2.7, 2.75, we can consolidate here, and then we can easily break above $3 later, right? So that is the ideal scenario. I also do think that if we actually do get positive data from the inflation rate, there still is a possibility, like I said, to break above $3, even though I don't think it's most likely now. But I would say, given the recent strength, that something like this is most likely, all right? So that we're able to form a consolidation. Maybe that initially we will spike down a little bit lower. That is something I do think you need to be prepared for. I mean, we left a lot of imbalances, of course, towards 2.5 and 2.45 as well. So if you're aware of that, if you're ready for that, you're fine. And I think this general strength, I'm not sure what's going on here with my screen. It's not great, but I think the general strength will remain. I think we'll be able to consolidate, and from that consolidation, I will keep you updated on a potential breakout later, which ultimately, not short term, but medium term, I would say a breakout above $3 is still likely. I just don't expect it right now. But those are my thoughts. I think that's what you need to know. So thank you for watching. I'll see you on my next videos, and bye.